Okay, that works. What's up, everyone? This is PW Twister back for the Smackdown review. I have been told by YouTube that I can actually upload longer than 15-minute videos now, so I don't have to rush and stop whenever I go longer. So, let's get to Smackdown. Overall, it was an okay episode. There were parts of it I couldn't stand, parts of it I could not stop watching, and just an overall good show. Let's get into it. First, we had Mark Henry and Daniel Bryan. Mark Henry, for some reason, felt the need to beat the shit out of Daniel Bryan and make a point that he's like an animal backed into a corner. He's dangerous. That's sort of what they're trying to go with right now, and I liked it. It was good. It got the point across that Mark Henry is dangerous and he'll destroy anybody if he has to. First match of the night was Ziggler and Sin Cara. Ziggler's an awesome heel, as usual. He doesn't need Vicky anymore, so I don't really see why he's still with her, because he's far beyond Vicky. His skills as a heel are amazing, and they should just let him go on his own. One thing I noticed in the match is that Sin Cara is a lot better in the ring than he was before. He seems to have finally adjusted to the WWE safe style, and there's far less botching than there was in previous matches. One thing I've noticed is that high flyers like Sin Cara and Daniel Bryan are only allowed to do suicide dives. I wonder why that is. It's something I've noticed over the years, that at least since they've switched to the safe style, that they don't seem to let high flyers do as many moves unless you're John Morrison. That's just a little something I noticed. The match was good. Showed off what Cara could do, made Ziggler look tough. It was just a good match. After the match was over, once Sin Cara's lights went up, the regular lights seemed to have accidentally gotten way too bright on accident, which I thought was sort of funny. Just little funny things. So Ziggler tries to attack Cara, but Cara attacks him back. Swagger comes out, and the two of them beat the shit out of Sin Cara. Mason Ryan comes out, and suddenly we have a match between Ryan and Swagger. And I have to say, I don't like these post-match beatdowns leading into a random match segment, because they make no fucking sense, and they happen every other week. And I don't understand why it has to be the case that they don't have a set card every week. The UFC does it. Ring of Honor does it. Why can't WWE have a set number of matches every week that'll make people want to tune in and watch? It'll at least keep them attentive, and they'll at least know what's happening. You can't surprise the audience every time, so at least have matches that'll intrigue people, and promote them as the matches that are there. Promote the main events as the main event ahead of time. But they don't seem to be smart enough to know this, or they're just too lazy. I didn't care about this Swagger-Ryan match because it sucked. Mason Ryan should not be in a WWE ring right now. He's not good enough. Put Tyler Rex or Drew McIntyre or somebody in there, but Mason Ryan does not belong. He looks like a steroided up monster, so nobody's going to believe that it's real, and it's just like, he's just not good as a wrestler. He sucks. He's like the Ultimate Warrior without the gimmick. He can do a clothesline and a body slam, and that's it. What else is there really to say? We go backstage, and Zack Ryder has this online petition thing. Love Zack Ryder. Awesome gimmick. Big Show comes back. They tell him about what happened to Daniel Bryan, and he's intense. He's really good at those intense promos. Nothing to complain about there. After that, we go to the fucking shameless plug for WWE 12, which is, do that in the commercials. Don't do that on your fucking show. And then there was the Oksana segment with Theodore Long. Though, if you're not going to have anything come out of a segment, don't fucking do it. Because nobody cares about Teddy Long and his romance with Oksana. That's not why they watch a professional wrestling show. Jesus fucking Christ. Christian's ankle looked really nasty in his segment. What that segment showed me is just how malicious the fans are. They don't give a fuck about him. It's just like, dude, the guy's ankle is messed up and you don't care? Jesus. Next match is Ted DiBiase versus Derek Bateman. Derek Bateman is interesting, but I cannot take Ted DiBiase's music. It is so bad, and it does not fit him at all. Have him come out to some fucking country music. Anything is better than what he has now. Because now he seems like a wuss coming out to that music. And he doesn't even have a gimmick. He's not his father. He's not a money-hungry guy. So why have him flash his cash? Have music that says he loves that money. It doesn't matter because he's not a fucking money gimmick guy. He's not like his dad. Not to mention he's average in the ring. They don't let him do any moves that make him different. And that is my problem with the whole WWE style. They do not let them do moves that are different. And they cannot separate themselves from everybody else because they don't let them separate themselves from everybody else. Because of this safe style. They need to take some chances every now and then. And let these guys do different. Because I didn't remember anything in the match. Except for the introduction to Derek Bateman and his girl. Other than that, I didn't give a crap about this. And it was boring. I mean, when you have Tyler Rex make a debut on Superstars, he drapes the guy over his shoulders. He's standing on the top rope, jumps up, he falls down, lets his opponent fall down. The opponent falls down on the fucking turnbuckle, and it looks like it hurts. You had the crowd going, "Oh!" when they saw that. Just little bit of individuality here, because it works. They seem to take everything that works and then do the opposite, and I don't understand why. The Big Show promo was next. It was good. Nothing really more you could say about it. Because it's Big Show. He knows what he's doing. He's been in this business for fucking ever. He knows how to do a good promo. And the build for this Mark Henry Big Show feud is great. Next up is Hunico versus Kofi. Give Hunico real wrestling gear, for God's sakes. The guy looks ridiculous in the outfit he wrestles in now. It's so bad. Don't put him in LAX type of gear. Don't make him wear pants, Converse, and a wife beater. He looks stupid. But the match was good, and that's all that matters to me. The match was good. Hunico's really, really talented. And it's sort of lucky that they brought him into work with Sin Cara, because he's probably going to have a decent career out of this, because he's been on TV a lot. Next up was one of probably my favorite matches of the night. Beth Phoenix and Natalya versus AJ and Caitlyn. First thing I thought, do any of these women except for Beth Phoenix have last names? Just a thought. But the match was good because A, Beth Phoenix didn't need to get involved because it showed how tough Natalya was. And B, Jesus Christ, that sharpshooter looked nasty. She bent back so far that she was doing an arch. Her head was upside down, pulling it all the way back. And Caitlyn had to be double joint, or was that AJ? It doesn't matter because that shows how little. That shows how much the last name thing matters. That you can't even tell the difference between the two. But AJ, I think it was, she had to be double jointed to be able to take that because that would have broken any normal person's back to be stretched back that far. And I loved that. It was great. The thing that came up after that was the flashback from Raw segment. I don't get why they do this. They have talent that is forced to wrestle on the internet, and they have talent that they don't even bother to use. And so what ends up happening is these guys, these extremely talented guys that you have here, they're not allowed to work where people can see them. And instead of using your television time to promote these younger guys, you promote something that's already happened. They wasted 20 minutes on the Raw segment. And they do this every fucking week. They wasted on a match or a promo that's already happened. Why the fuck would I need to see that again? It's not going to improve my ratings to do that. It's like they're purposely trying to ruin SmackDown's ratings because they don't want new viewers to be there. Jesus, how hard is it to put new talent on television? I mean, at least people might stay interested if the matches are good. But they're not even willing to do that. And so that brings me to Sheamus and Randy Orton versus Wade Barrett and Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes needs that mask back. He looks so uninteresting without it. When you saw Cody Rhodes before, he was like, "Oh, it's Cody Rhodes." Now it's just like, "Oh, it's Cody Rhodes." Because the mask made it different. It added a mystique to the man that made his character interesting. And now that that's gone, there's no real point in having him do anything because his gimmick is gone. I understand trying to evolve your character, but at least have another idea for him ready, because he doesn't look any different than Randy Orton. He looks like a shorter version of Randy Orton without the tattoos, without that mask on. And if you can't do something to keep him looking original, then what's the point of having him wrestle? Because he's not going to be different than anybody else. Because there's nothing that makes him look different. Match was okay. It was your typical WWE tag team match with the two guys that work together to fight the enemies, and it's just like, Jesus, they can't come up with a more original match than that. It's like, they can't. Well, I suppose they couldn't have done much different than that, but it's just like, they need to make the matches different, because it's everybody doing their move sets and the same old thing we've already seen. I turned it off at that point because it was just I knew what was going to happen. I knew it was going to be a good match regardless of whether I watched it or not, because you just know those guys can put on a good match. But the moves are all the same. They never do anything different. They're stuck in this 5 moves of doom mentality where they're not allowed to do anything different. And it's like I was saying, these guys need to be allowed to do different things in the ring, because otherwise nobody's going to care. That's what made Macho Man Randy Savage different. He was allowed to do his own thing. And Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Hulk Hogan, Jimmy Snuka, The Undertaker. All these guys had gimmicks, and they had movesets that were different. And WWE does not seem to be willing to do that anymore with these guys. So that is all I have to say for today. I'm going to be doing the Survivor Series booking in a little bit, and I'll have that posted up later today. So until next time, have a nice day.